Our next presenting company is Colombian copper and gold explorer Cordoba Minerals Corp, trading on the TSX Venture under the ticker symbol CDB. Cordoba's majority ownership is held by High Power Exploration's founder and chair, Robert Friedland. Cordoba is developing its 100% owned 200-hectare San Matias Copper-Gold-Silver Project, located in the Department of Córdoba. I'd like to welcome recently appointed President and CEO Sarah Armstrong Montoya.
Hi, Vanessa. Thank you very much for that introduction. Am I okay to share my screen with the presentation?
Please do.
So, as Vanessa just mentioned, we are listed on the TSXV. We're a copper and gold developer, and we have two projects. One is in Colombia, and the other one is in Arizona. As Vanessa also mentioned, we have a very strong management team. Our majority shareholder was previously HBX. It's now Ivanhoe Electric, same group of companies, and which is founded and led by Robert Friedland. Our management team at Cordoba, the majority of us have been with the group for over 10 years and have experience in various countries and projects and companies. We have very strong financial and technical support from the investors, Ivanhoe Electric and JCHX, which is our other majority shareholder. They have around 18% shareholding. Both Colombia and Arizona are underexplored and highly prospective. Colombia, I think, for the obvious reasons of security and security issues that it had in the past. This has improved greatly with the signing of the peace agreement in 2016. So we feel that there is huge potential for a discovery, in Colombia. We're currently in the process of doing a feasibility study for the Alacran Deposit at San Matias. We're about halfway through. The feasibility study. And so, as we mentioned, we have excellent potential for the discovery of new porphyry deposits at the San Matias Project. We have a very large land package locked up there. So, as mentioned, we're listed on the TSXV and also we're listed on the OTC. You can see here our sort of capital structure with 60 million outstanding shares. The share price we have here was of June 7th today, so it's a little bit higher. It's at about 95 cents. So we have a market cap of around $55 million. As you can see here, down here, and as we mentioned, so Ivanhoe Electric have 60.1% of the company, and then JCHX just over 18%. So as I mentioned as well, here's our management team. So we have myself. I was just recently appointed in April as president and CEO, but I have been with the group since 2010 in various other companies. Mark Gibson also, he's our chief operating officer. He's also been with the group for over 10 years, and he was the founding CEO of HBX and previously worked at Anglo. And we have Chris Cairns, our CFO, and Charles Forster, who was part of as is our VP of Exploration, and he was part of the discovery team at OT. We have an extremely experienced board of directors. Eric Finlayson was our interim CEO, and he continues as the chairman. And we have, between our other board members, between Govan Friedland and Gibson Pierce and Bill Orchow and Dr. Peng, we have a very highly experienced technical team with sort of 30 to 40 years in mining for each of them. And Luis Valencia is our Colombian director, and he has very strong government relationships here and a lot of experience in that sector. So the San Matias Project, it's predominantly a copper project with byproducts of gold and silver. It's in the development phase at the moment. Large open pit resource with indicated 1.6 billion pounds of copper equivalent at 0.64%. Really low strip ratio of 0.81 to 1. We're currently looking at a 23-year mine life with staged ramp up. So we'll be starting at 8,000 tonnes per day, and by year 6, I think we will be at 16,000 tonnes per day. So we are well advanced in the pre-feasibility study, and we are on track to complete that by the end of this year. We also have excellent government and community relationships. I think it's been very important for us to focus from the grassroots up on those relationships, especially with all, the government and all levels from local and municipality and departmental, and we've got excellent support from all levels of government for the project. So we own 100% of San Matias. We acquired 100% of Alacran Deposit that was previously under option, and we acquired 100% of that in June of last year. In total, we have 201,000 hectares of land package locked up. The majority of that is in the Cordoba region, and that's a mix between titles and applications. So we have huge exploration potential there, and to date, we've actually only explored around 1% of that land package that we have locked up. Our project is located in the Department of Córdoba, about 390 kilometres from Bogota and 160 kilometres from Medellin. And it's accessible via a 70-kilometre highway from Caucasia, and then there's a 21-kilometre gravel road to get us to the project. So we have indicated 1.62 billion pounds of copper equivalent at 0.64% and inferred 41 million pounds copper equivalent at 0.39%. The deposits we have there is Alacran. That's where we're focusing the PFS on at the moment. So it hosts around 78% of indicated resources, over 550 metres of thick volcanistic sequence and around 200 metres of thick diorites. And then close by to the Alacran deposit, we have Montiel East, Montiel West, and Costa Azul that also really fall within the area of impact of the project, and we'll continue doing exploration work on those deposits as well. In 2019, we did a PEA. So that as I mentioned before, that's 8,000 tonnes per day starting off, and by year 6, we're looking at 16,000 tonnes per day, with a 23-year mine life and an average annual production of 40 million pounds of copper. We're currently doing the pre-feasibility study, so we have ongoing diamond drill program that's in progress at the moment. Metallurgical tests have indicated improved gold, copper, and silver recoveries. Obviously, the tests are still ongoing, so we're not able to announce those details just yet. So here is just the summary, I guess, of the PEA at a glance that you can see. We've discussed a few of these numbers. I think an important one here is, our cash costs, we're looking at $1.15 per pound of copper. So that's extremely low, especially with the price of copper today. But it's a low capex project. As you can see up here on the right, and as I mentioned, so it is predominantly copper. That's 73%, and then you have that other 25% gold and 2% silver. So here's a little bit about our ongoing pre-feasibility study and the diamond drill program. So we will have completed 5,128 meters of drilling. We've currently got trade-off studies underway. So we have the new definition of saprolite and transition zones, the metallurgical test work, which, as I mentioned, indicates improved gold, silver, and copper recoveries. We're doing trade-off study to look between the thickened tailings dam and traditional tailings. So looking at the PEA assumed 78% copper, 76.9% gold, and 67.3% silver, but the current studies are returning as high as 90% copper. So I think that's important as well. We're also looking at fast tracking, the potential to fast track to an additional, it's actually 66,000 meter drilling program for the feasibility study, given the results that we're currently seeing with the pre-feasibility studies. I think here is an old picture, but a great one. It's showing some of our core. This was drilled in 2017, and of high grade gold here. And I think really important to mention is, as the slide states, we have unquantifiable gold in high grade veins. And the reason, unquantifiable, we have had at Alacran for around 30 years traditional and artisanal miners gold mining there, and they are still there at the moment. So I mean, they've been living from that for all of this time. So there is quite a large potential. When we're actually able to get in there, they are physically on top of where we're going to build the pit. So I mean, that will form part of our social program with them in moving them. But when we can actually get in there and continue drilling, I think we'll be able to quantify just what's there. But there is large upside opportunity there. So as I mentioned before, we have a very large land package at San Matias. So it's 201,000 hectares in total between titles and applications, with only 1% of all tenements that we have explored to date. And that is something that we're looking to do simultaneously with the pre-feasibility study and feasibility studies to continue exploration. We've identified 2 undrilled targets at Alacran North and William, which have potential for the discovery of a skarn deposit and possibly the porphyry. So as I mentioned, the upcoming exploration program will be to search for the concealed porphyry, gold copper deposits that we believe to be at Alacran or Montiel West. We have 12 communities within the area of interest. We have excellent relationships with them all. We have a wide-ranging social program. We have a mobile team permanently on the ground with about 10 people that go between the communities. It's obviously very hard for them to get physically to an office. We support them with things from, education, infrastructure, health, also training, I guess, and upskilling. We employ a lot. We have requirements in our contracts with service providers that they must hire locally in the area from the communities. We have programs working with females, environmental conservation programs. And as I mentioned before, the actual Alacran community, which is one of the 12 communities, they physically live on top of where we're going to be building the pit. So not just the Alacran community, but also the other communities that fall within the area of interest of our project. We're working with them because we're actually going to have to relocate them to build and construct the mine. We're targeting that by sort of 2023. I guess importantly to mention here that the pre-feasibility study that we're doing, the Colombian equivalent is getting a plan of works and environmental license, and there are the 2 permits required to build and construct the mine. So at the same time that we're doing the pre-feasibility by Canadian standards, we're doing this work in Colombia, and we'll file those applications for the permits at the end of this year. And it will probably take around a year for us to get licensed before we can build the mine. And so during that time, the idea would be to do finish the pre-feasibility and then continue with the feasibility study. Over to our project in Arizona, the Perseverance project. So again, we mentioned that Arizona is also greatly underexplored. We have a joint venture and earning agreement with Bell Copper, and we currently have 25% of that project, and we have a right to earn up to 80%. It's a 13,000 acre property in a world-class copper region, and it's part of a mineralized trend that hosts multiple major copper mines and deposits. So here we go, as I just mentioned, about the 25% interest that we have. It is located in 90 miles southwest of Kingman and 150 miles northwest of Phoenix. The other mines and deposits that are around our project is we've got Freeport's Baghdad Copper Mine, Origin Mining's Mineral Park Mine, and Rio Tinto's Resolution Project. The drill work that's been done to now were exploration programs by Bell Copper between 2015 and 2019 have intersected long intervals of anomalous copper and evidence of a nearby porphyry system. We've completed phase 1 earning of 25%, and we are currently in phase 2 at the moment. So Arizona's produced 10% of the world's copper. And here again mentioning it's been underexplored for 30 years. And here I think important to mention is Cordoba and Ivanhoe Electric. There's special technology that's unique to our group, I guess, really to the Ivanhoe group. It's the Typhoon system. So that is a data acquisition system, which is the most accurate and powerful IP and EM geophysical survey technology, which we'll be using to continue looking for the porphyry at Perseverance. Here's just a map that that's showing it's adjacent to a giant porphyry copper root zone. It's thought to be a failed porphyry copper system. Dr. Tim Marsh is the CEO of Bell Copper. And he's recognised it as the root zone of a porphyry copper system in 1997. He's been searching for the porphyry since joining in 2005. So as I mentioned, I think this is a great opportunity to combine that with our Typhoon technology in looking for that porphyry. Here's our best drill hole that we've had to date. It's drill hole K20, which does show evidence of a nearby porphyry copper. And the idea is to continue on with further drilling, and we need to be doing that for our phase 2 earning. So you can see here the targeted milestones for both of our projects. As you can see, we're targeting the end of this year for the pre-feasibility study, and as I mentioned, that is at the same time that will be submitting the applications to get the project licensed in Colombia. The feasibility study for 2022, and this part here with the detailed design and mine construction, I think that could possibly even be a bit shorter here, but we would be targeting 2023 and 2024. We may be able to start building in 2023. For Perseverance, we're looking at drilling to earning for our second phase in the third quarter of this year. So I guess just in summary, the reasons to invest, we are an America's focused copper gold exploration and development company. I think there's huge potential in both of our projects, with low capex and opex, in particular with our project in Colombia. We are advancing towards the PFS. And we have, the discovery potential at Alacran, and not just Alacran, Alacran and San Matias and all of that land package that we've looked up, and then also at Perseverance as well. And, we do have the team that have all of the experience to back that up, and not just at Cordoba, I think, but also with our majority shareholder. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. That was a super detailed overview in not too much time. So, great job. Thank you so much. You answered a bunch of my questions about the timeline for the PFS and what the community relations, ESG is entailing and moving the community. That sounds like it's all on track and all on par. I guess we're actually out of time for questions. My apologies, but if anyone has any. Please email me, Vanessa at adcap.ca. And Sarah, again, thank you for your time. Cordoba Minerals. All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, bye-bye. Bye for now.